get started, but I want that to kind of go. But we are live now, so here you go. You guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Donovan Sadiq. This is again the first episode of Unapologetic, and we are talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. So Miss Maxwell is being held in a prison that everything's been set up. So a lot of people out there have been asking me, who is this lady? And they don't really know the history of her. So what I decided to do was to run this video and give you guys an idea of who Ghislaine Maxwell actually is. So let's hold on here. And I am going to run this for you guys and get ready. Yikes. So that's a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell. Um, this lady is involved in some very, very serious allegations. And I want to apologize, everybody, for my microphone. If my microphone did not come out very, very loud, it should have on the podcast, but for the other thing. But I hope you guys heard all of that. And I'll play it back later just to make sure. Like I said, this is our first episode, and we're going to give it a good run and see, how things go. But why is Ghislaine Epstein so important? Well, she is important because, as you saw, she's a socialite. And she has been photographed with all kinds of famous people, rich people. You've got the British family. Prince Andrew is involved. Bill Clinton is involved. Hillary Clinton is involved. They say Bill Clinton was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 26 times, something like that, in the 20s. You can't explain why he was on that plane. Who else? Several pictures of her and Donald Trump. What's his name? Alan Dershowitz. He was on there, and you have all these things happening, right? So Epstein gets charged last year, and he ends up dying mysteriously. He took his own life. Billions of dollars. This man owns his own island, and he just decides, with all his connections, he's going to take his life. It just so happens the video camera that was covering his, it's my cat, by the way, that was covering his cell didn't work. And it also just so happens that the cat found a string. It also just happens that the very guards that were charged to guard him fell asleep on duty. And he had just enough time to hang himself with some bed sheets or something like that. How interesting. So recently they moved Miss Maxwell to the very prison that Epstein was killed in. Why would they do that? Is it to set up the excuse again of their incompetence and how she's going to end up killing herself? I mean, you're dealing with very powerful people here. And these people are not above murder to get what they want. And you say, well, how's that possible? Whatever. You have presidents of the United States that will uniformly go into sovereign nations and kill their people just because he wants it done, or our interests. How is it in the United States' interest to go into Libya and take over that country other than the oil? And the average American, we don't make any money off oil. We pay for oil, high gas prices. So they are setting this thing up for this lady to supposedly kill herself. And I say supposedly for the simple fact that nobody saw any pictures of Jeffrey Epstein after he supposedly died. And again, a lot of people say that he possibly worked for the Mossad, Israeli intelligence. Now you're saying, well, why would he work for Israeli intelligence? You have master spies out there. Countries spy on each other. And what good is spying if you don't have blackmail material? That's the whole point of all this. That is why Mr. Epstein ended up being killed. Nobody can seem to understand, how did Mr. Epstein make his money? Why isn't the taxes, his tax records, not being released? Why are they considered top secret? So you got all these questions that go on. Again, let's go into Donald Trump's taxes. Is it because, I mean, this man has been fighting for 3 years for his taxes not to be released. And he probably didn't think about this when he thought about running for president. So for 3 years, he's been fighting tooth and nail He couldn't get any business loans in the United States from any United States banks, but he was able to get money from somewhere. Even his own sons have admitted they get a lot of their financing from Russia. Is that maybe why Donald Trump doesn't want his taxes removed? Because it will show that he is an agent of Russia and he's beheld to them for favors. And they think this is how Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed very powerful people in the world. Pictures don't lie, videos don't lie. And they say that this lady and Mr. Epstein videotaped and recorded and photographed all of these people to have these things over their head. So she right now is the key. And I personally believe that she's not going to leave there alive. That's not going to happen. Now, if she's smart enough, she will drop a bomb regardless. But I don't know. But then again, Donald Trump is president, but this is not a federal case, so he can't save her either. Well, wait. Maybe it is a federal case. I'm not sure. I think it is. That's something to think about. But this is going to get interesting because here's what I believe. These rich and powerful people, you have secret organizations. Any secret organization is repugnant to a real democracy, okay? The people have a right to know what their government is doing. And for some reason, people just let these people make up these rules that make no sense. It's just like having a grand jury. Nobody knows who these people are. It's like having the Electoral College. Nobody really knows who these people are, but these people make decisions on our lives. So this lady has a lot of information, and it is not above anybody to kill this one lady. They killed Jeffrey Epstein, okay? So they say. We've never seen it. And speaking of never seeing any documents or photographs, when you get arrested, one of the first things they do is when they book you is they take your picture. Has anybody ever seen a Ghislaine Maxwell booking photo? That's public property. That's public knowledge. That's a public record. You should be able to see that and see what's going on. We haven't even seen that yet. There's rumors that Jeffrey Epstein, being working for Mossad, they shuffled him out of the country and he's living somewhere in Israel under, seclusion and all that other stuff. Is this what they're going to do to Miss Maxwell? Get her out, in one piece because they have all this evidence. And then they can continue their lifestyle of abusing young women and sex trafficking. And it isn't just young women. Some of the story is allegedly is young boys as well. But what's the big deal? I mean, when I say a big deal, what I'm saying is it's not above the rich and powerful to do this. All through history, these sodomites, what you want to call them, that's the reference in the Bible, sodomites have always been around. And they're into this stuff. Skull and Bones, it's alleged that one of the rituals in Skull and Bones is to have sex with other males in a coffin. And guess who's a member of Skull and Bones? The Nazi Bush family. John Kerry, he's a Skull and Bones member. But these people are on two different parties, right? So this is going to be very interesting as this plays out. Will she start naming names? Or will they kill her or get her out of the country and stage a killing or a suicide before we can get answers? It's going to be interesting, guys. But anyway, this is Donovan Sadiq. This has been Unapologetic. This is the very first episode. I wanted to see how this works and see how it works out. But tune in on Wednesdays. We're going to be doing Unapologetic On Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing book reviews and all kinds of stuff, and we're going to be talking the real. So I wanted you guys to just get a little taste of what we're doing, and we'll see how it goes. Is she going to survive? It's going to be very interesting because everybody has an opinion on this, and we're seeing the rich and powerful squirm. Because if they thought what they were doing was so right and they're so rich and powerful, what are they afraid of? Maybe they're afraid of the fact that we will start rising up, and we're starting to rise up. Just like the Russian Revolution, just like the French Revolution, not the American Revolution. The American Revolution, the population didn't rise up. It was just a few thieves that rose up. But what was the Russian Revolution about? The people were so damn poor that they had no other choice. The French Revolution, what was it about? The people were so damn poor, they had no choice to rise up against the rich and the powerful and the elite. And that's what's happening right now in the United States. People are taking a stand against fascism and racism and corporatism. That's what's happening. And they're watching it in real time. The police have been delegitimized. There's not enough policemen to arrest anybody in any jurisdiction if the majority of the people say, nah, this is bullshit. And you're seeing the police just being beaten back. When you could burn a police station, that goes to show you how much power the people actually do have. They just got to be reminded of who's the master and who's the servant. I'm Donovan Siddiq, you guys. I won't be finished with this. This is going to be something I'm going to pursue. And we're going to lock it in with these programs. Unapologetic, episode 1. Ghislaine Maxwell. Good luck.